File item 37, AB 881, Senator Liu. Pass. File item 40, AB 494, pass on file. File item 41, AB 258. Senator Leno is not at his desk. File item 42, AB 637. Senator Walt? Pass on file. File item 61. AB 915. Senator Monning? Mr. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 915 by Assemblymember Holden, an act relating to public education employees.
Senator Monning.
Thank you, Madam President and members. AB 915 removes archaic and stringent travel restrictions placed on classified and certificated school employees. Existing law prohibits school employees who are on leave and receiving workers' compensation from traveling outside of California unless the governing school board approves their travel. I ask that you join me in removing this severe prohibition on our school employees by voting aye on SB 915.
Any discussion or debate? Please call the roll.
Allen? Aye. Anderson? Aye. Bates? Bell? Aye. Berryhill? Block? Cannella? Aye. De Leon? Aye. Fuller? Aye. Gaines? Galgiani? Aye. Glazer? Aye. Hall? Hancock? Aye. Hernandez? Aye. Hertzberg? Aye. Hill? Aye. Weso? Aye. Huff? Jackson? Aye. Lada? Aye. Leno? Leva? Aye. Liu? Aye. McGuire? Aye. Mendoza? Mitchell? Aye. Monning? Aye. Morlock? Morrell? Wynn? Aye. Nielsen? Aye. Pan? Aye. Pavley? Roth? Aye. Runner? Aye. Stone? Aye. Vidak? Aye. Wachowski? Aye. Wolk? Wolk, aye.
Senator Monning moves the call. File item 65, ACR 71. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Concurrent Resolution 71 by Assemblymember Dodd, relative to Elder and Vulnerable Adult Abuse Awareness Month.
Thank you. Senator Walt.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, ACR 71 will recognize the month of June as Elder and Vulnerable Adult Abuse Awareness Month. Each year, more than 2 million vulnerable and older adults are victims of abuse, neglect, and exploitation, and this affects men and women of all ethnic backgrounds and social status in private residences as well as group facilities and institutions. This has received bipartisan support, has no opposition. I ask you for your aye vote.
Any discussion or debate? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Allen? Aye. Anderson? Bates? Aye. Bell? Aye. Berryhill? Aye. Block? Cannella? Aye. De Leon? Aye. Fuller? Aye. Gaines? Galgiani? Aye. Glazer? Aye. Hall? Hancock? Aye. Hernandez? Aye. Hertzberg? Aye. Hill? Aye. Weso? Aye. Huff? Jackson? Aye. Lada? Aye. Leno? Leva? Aye. Liu? Aye. McGuire? Aye. Mendoza? Mitchell? Aye. Monning? Aye. Morlock? Aye. Morrell? Wynn? Aye. Nielsen? Aye. Pan? Aye. Pavley? Roth? Aye. Runner? Aye. Stone? Aye. Vidak? Aye. Wachowski? Aye. Wolk? Wolk, aye. Anderson, aye. Gaines, aye.
Senator Walt moves the call. We're moving on to file item 67, ACR 74. Senator Nielsen, you prepared? Yes. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Concurrent Resolution 74 by Assemblymember Bigelow, relative to California Fairground Appreciation Month.
Senator Nielsen.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are 76 fairgrounds in the state of California, from the largest to the very smallest counties. These fairgrounds, for decades, have become the community centers of our counties. So many events occur at these fairs. And in many, if not all counties, they're an economic driver in those counties, as well as a place for people to gather, to enjoy, and to have fun. For our times of disaster, most of those provide and become the disaster centers, where all the responders are trained to headquarter there and dispatch from. The wounded and injured come in through there to be transported to where they need to get their care. They're part of the very social fabric of the generations. For me, very personally, my father served on the big Fresno County Fair Board, and my wife served on the Yolo County Fair Board. We met, Marilyn and I, at the Tehama County Fair. 20 years to the night she'd been named Miss Tehama County, in fact, and she was mistress of ceremonies, and I was a judge. I did fairly well that night. Those fairs are very important to us. Our youth grow up learning responsibility for animals and projects that they do and care for, and all of the fun and excitement of the county fairs. They're a part of our hysteric and historic lore, and they remain significant in the lives of Californians yet this day. I urge that we would acknowledge these fairgrounds. And a distinction, the fairs I'm talking more about, but they're talking about here in this resolution specifically the fairgrounds, the facilities. A few years ago, when the legislature and the governor, under very perilous times, were planning to close them, I asked the question in the Budget Committee, what are we going to do with all of this property? How will it be secured? What about the liabilities? What about the other impacts? The fairgrounds are facilities. Keep that in mind. We need to keep them a part of our social fiber and fabric and a part of our economic opportunities. I urge an aye vote.
Thank you very much. Is there any further discussion or debate? Please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Wesso. Aye. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Lutta. Aye. Leno. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Mitchell.
Aye.
Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nielsen. Aye. Pan. Pavley. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Senator Nielsen moves the call. Moving on, colleagues, to file item number 86, AB 1290. Senator Gaines, you prepared to take this measure up? Mr. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1290 by Assemblymember Dolly, an act relating to healthcare districts and declaring the urgency thereof to take effect immediately.
Senator Gaines.
Great. Thank you, Madam President and members. Today I'm presenting AB 1290 by Assemblyman Dally, which will authorize Mayor's Memorial Hospital, located in Fall River Mills within my district, to use the design-build process when constructing or contracting for the construction of seismic safety requirements. This bill passed unanimously so far and has had no opposition. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Is there any discussion or debate? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. Allen, aye. Anderson, aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Canella. Aye. De Leon. I. Fuller, I. Gaines, I. Galgiani, I. Glazer, I. Hall, Hancock, I. Hernandez, I. Hertzberg, I. Hill, I. Wesso, I. Huff, Jackson, I. Lara, I. Leno, I. Leyva, I. Liu, I. McGuire, I. Mendoza, Mitchell, I. Monning, I. Morlock, I. Morrell, I. Wynn, I. Nilsson, I. Pan, I. Pavley, Roth, I. Runner, I. Stone, I. Vidak, I. Wachowski, I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Senator Gaines moves the call. Senator Gaines, for what purpose do you rise?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Would it be appropriate for me to bring up file item 22, SCR 71?
It certainly is. First of all, let me go back and clarify that you moved the call on the previous measure. And returning colleagues to file item 22, SCR 71. Senator Gaines. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 71 by Senator Gaines relative to Fireworks Safety Month.
Senator Gaines.
Great, thank you, Madam President and members. Today I bring you Senate Concurrent Resolution 71. This resolution will designate June 21st through July 21st, 2015 as Fireworks Safety Month. Improper use of fireworks can lead to harm both to an individual and wildlife. In 2013, an estimated 11,400 fireworks-related injuries were treated in hospitals around the U.S., 65% of which occurred between June 21st and July 21st. This year, CAL FIRE has already responded to 1,122 wildfires between January and May, burning nearly 4,200 acres. In wake of the severe drought California is currently facing, we need fireworks safety more than ever. For this reason I urge an aye vote.
Any discussion or debate on the resolution? Any discussion or debate? Please call the roll.
Allen, I. Anderson, I. Bates, I. Bell, I. Berryhill, I. Block, Cannella, I. De Leon, I. Fuller, I. Gaines, I. Galgiani, I. Glazer, I. Hall, Hancock, I. Hernandez, I. Hertzberg, I. Hill, I. Wesso, Huff, Jackson, I. Lara, I. Leno, I. Leyva, I. Liu, I. McGuire, I. Mendoza, I. Mitchell, I. Monning, I. Morlock, I. Morrell, I. Wynn, I. Nilsson, I. Pan, I. Pavley, Roth, I. Runner, I. Stone, I. Vidak, I. Wachowski, I. Wolk. Wolka.
Call the absent members.
Block, Hall, Wesso, Huff, Pavley.
Ayes 35, no 0. The measure passes. Senator Leno, you have two items. File item 41. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 258 by Assemblymember Levine, enact relating to organ transplants.
Senator Leno.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, I am pleased to present this on behalf of Assemblyman Levine. This bill will save lives, ensuring that medical cannabis patients are not discriminated against in the organ transplant process. Because of arcane public health policies, there are an estimated 1,150 medical cannabis patients who are at risk of being denied a life-saving organ transplant due to their cannabis use, which of course is recommended by their physician. This bill, AB 258, will correct this wrong. Even though tobacco causes 8.8% of all deaths worldwide, causes over 430,000 deaths annually in this country, more than deaths caused by alcohol, cocaine, heroin, homicide, suicide, car accidents, fires, and AIDS combined, someone who uses tobacco has a much greater likelihood of getting an organ transplant than someone using physician-recommended marijuana. This is irrational and cruel. 7 other states already have made this provision in their state laws. The bill has enjoyed bipartisan support in both houses. I ask for your aye vote.
Any discussion or debate? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. No. Bates. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Cannella. Aye. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. Gaines. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell.
Aye.
Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. Aye. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Roth. Aye. Runner. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wykowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye. Morlock, aye.
Call the absent members.
Bates. Aye. Block. Fuller. Gaines. Aye. Hall. Hueso. Aye. Huff. Pavley. Runner.
Ayes 33, noes 1. The measure passes. Colleagues, we're going to lift the call on a number of bills. We'll begin with file item 61, Assembly Bill 915. Please call the roll.
Bates. Berryhill. Block. Gaines. Aye. Hall. Huff. Leno. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Pavley. Berryhill, aye.
Call the absent members.
Bates. Aye. Block. Hall. Huff. Aye. Morrell. Pavley.
Ayes 36, noes 0. The measure passes. File item 86, AB 1290. Please call the roll.
Block. Hall. Huff. Mendoza. Aye. Pavley. Huff, aye.
Ayes 37, noes 0. The measure passes. Ayes 37, noes 0 on the urgency clause. Passes. File item 31, ACR 57. Please call the roll.
Block. Gaines. Aye. Hall. Huff. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Morrell. Pavley. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Ayes 36, noes 0. The resolution is adopted. Moving to file item 65, ACR 71. Please call the roll.
Block. Hall. Huff. Aye. Leno. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Morrell. Pavley.
Ayes 36, noes 0. The resolution is adopted. File item 67, ACR 74. Please call the roll.
Block. Hall, Huff, I, Leno, I, Mendoza, I, Pan, I, Pavley.
Ayes 37, no 0. The resolution is adopted. File item 32, AJR 14. Please call the roll.
Allen, I, Bates, I, Block, Gaines, Galgioni, I, Hall, Huff, I, Leno, I, Mendoza, I, Morrell, Wynn, Pavley, Vidak. Aye.
Ayes 32, noes 2. The resolution is adopted. The last item we'll lift the call on is file item 24, Senate Joint Resolution 13. Please call the roll.
Fuller, Hall, Mendoza, I, Morrell, Pavley, Runner, I, Stone, Wolk. Wolk, aye. Fuller, aye.
Ayes 36, no 0. The resolution is adopted. Moving on to the consent and the special consent calendar. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 323, 661, 792, 1452, 638, AB 1, AB 627, Senate Concurrent Resolution 49.
Consent calendar is deemed read. Is there any objection to the use of unanimous roll call for consent calendar? Seeing none, ayes 37, no 0. The consent and special consent calendars are adopted. Colleagues, returning to motions and resolutions. Motions and resolutions. Senator Stone, for what purpose do you rise?
Adjourn to memory.
Proceed.
Thank you, Madam President. Members and colleagues, I rise today to ask that the Senate adjourn in the memory of Thomas Anthony Thomas, a dedicated public servant in the city of Lake Elsinore. Tom, who gave of himself more than anyone could have been expected to, served as the executive director for Cops for Kids, a nonprofit group that worked under the Riverside County Sheriff's Department to help disadvantaged children and senior citizens. Cops for Kids works to ensure all children, regardless of their circumstances, are provided the basic needs and joys that all children should have. Cops for Kids, though, is not just focused on children. It also helps senior citizens who need help from law enforcement. Tom's organization was founded in 1995, and his leadership was essential to strengthen the relationship between police and sheriffs and the local communities they serve in Riverside County. Whether it was delivering Christmas presents to disadvantaged children or providing clothes and housing to the homeless, Tom's leadership for Cops for Kids has helped countless people across Riverside County. Tom was born in 1949. He passed too soon. Tom was actively involved in the Lake Elsinore Rotary Club, and he lived to help people in need, whether it was helping people to create a health clinic in Baja, Mexico, or organizing community volunteer events like the Lake Elsinore Clean Extreme Day of Service, or serving on his local school board. Tom was an example of how community service can make a real difference in people's lives. Lake Elsinore mourns the passing of Tom. Our prayers are with him and his family, his wife Dee, his son Matthew, and the many people who knew him. His bright smile and deep laugh will be sorely missed. Thank you, Madam President, for allowing me to remember a good man, a faithful servant to his community. Tom Thomas will be missed, but he will be forever remembered, and I want to thank his family for sharing him with us all. Thank you, Madam President.
And thank you, Senator Stone. Senator Liu.
Thank you, Madam President. This is an adjourn in memory.
Please proceed.
I rise to ask that we adjourn the memory of former South Pasadena City Council member David Margrave, who passed away last week after a battle with cancer. Dave served on the council from 1982 to 1986, and again from 2003 to 2007. He was admired for his hardworking and often stubborn and focused personality. Even those who disagreed with him still appreciated his good heart and fervor for the good of our community. He was particularly known for his fight to minimize the impact of the Metro Gold Line on the community, winning concessions to reduce noise from the warning bells and installing safety gates. Dave was a skilled craftsman. Every year, his family built floats for the South Pasadena's 4th of July parade. He was also instrumental in reconstruction of the Garfield Youth House after a fire destroyed it. He joined the Navy at 17 and served aboard a submarine. He met his wife, Diane, in 1979 while skating. After a brief courtship, they married in the same year and moved to South Pass, where they resided for 39 years. I extend my condolences to Diane, his son Scott, and his daughter Kelly, and ask that we adjourn in Dave's memory.
Thank you, Senator Liu. Senator Runner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. Adjourn in memory of Larry Naston. He was only 53 years old. His main job was a Supercross announcer who traveled the world doing what he loved to do. He was one of the best in the country, and he was active in many charity fundraising events as well. He had that great voice for being MC at a lot of events. He was very involved in the Palmdale Lancaster Sheriff Boosters, and he is survived by his wife, Terry, children Lauren, Brian, and Christina, his mother, Eva, and his brother, Dean. Please join me in praying for his family. I thank you, Madam President.
Thank you very much. And would everyone who presented adjourn in memory comments, please bring the names to the desk because they can be properly memorialized. We appreciate you. Again, under motions or resolutions, there are floor amendments at the desk, and they will be deemed adopted. If there's no other business, Senator Fuller, the desk is clear.
The Senate will be in recess until 3:30, at which time the adjournment motion will be made. We will reconvene Thursday at 9 a.m.
Thank you. Colleagues, the Senate will be adjourned. We will reconvene Thursday at 9 a.m.